So here is a question that has been bugging me. Why did Rajat Gupta, a man who went from being an orphan to running one of the most prestigious consulting firms in the world, a man who sat on the boards of Goldman Sachs and Procter& Gamble, a man who had more money than he could spend in 3 lifetimes, throw it all away for insider trading tips that might net him a few million more? Here is another one. Why do about 70% of lottery winners end up broke within a few years? They were handed financial freedom on a silver platter, and they destroyed it. And here is the one that hits closest to home. Why do you keep making the same money mistakes over and over, even though you know better? Here is what nobody tells you. Managing money has almost nothing to do with how smart you are. It is not about formulas or spreadsheets or the perfect investment strategy. It is about something far more complicated. Human psychology. And your brain has been lying to you about money for your entire life. By the end of this video, you will know 4 traps that quietly drain wealth and a 60-second exercise to make your plan unbreakable. This is useful whether you search for how to build wealth, how to be a millionaire, or ways to make money online. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That helps me a lot. Thank you. Let's dive in. The uncomfortable truth. We are all a little irrational with money. You might drop $40 on dinner without blinking, then spend 20 minutes hunting a $3 coupon online. You know you should fund your retirement account, but you buy the concert tickets. You hold a losing stock because selling makes the loss feel real, even though it already is. I am not judging. We all do this. That is the point. Traditional finance treats us like robots. It says, here is the data and here is the formula. Mathematically, that can be right. Psychologically, it is blind. We do not make financial decisions on spreadsheets. We make them at the dinner table. We make them at 2 in the morning after a market drop. We make them when a friend buys a new Tesla and your Honda suddenly feels inadequate. Personal history, ego, fear, pride. What your parents taught you about money, the one time you lost big, the other time you got lucky. All of that is inside your head, steering your choices. And here is the kicker. This is not entirely your fault. The hidden problem. You are trying to win a brand new game with Stone Age hardware. The 401k retirement account, the 401k, was introduced in 1978. Index funds became common in the 1970s. The Roth IRA is from 1998. We have had less than 50 years to learn these tools. Your brain runs on ancient survival software. See a lion, run. Find food, eat now because you do not know when the next meal is coming. Someone in the tribe gets more meat than you, and status anxiety kicks in. Now we ask that ancient hardware to make rational decisions about compound interest, retirement accounts, and cryptocurrency. It is like asking a horse to fly a helicopter. Here is what really trips us up. Your money experience is your own. Someone who lived through high inflation feels risk in their body. Someone who did not will never feel it the same way. Neither person is wrong. They are reacting to different memories. That is why your coworker's perfect strategy might be wrong for you. It is not about the math alone. It is about whether you can sleep at night. If you want to know how to build wealth, start with a plan you can live with. The big traps. The never enough disease. The hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. You think if I make 6 figures, I will be set. Then you want 200,000, then 500,000, then 1 million. It never stops. Not at 1 million, not at 50 million, not at 1 billion. Bernie Madoff was already rich. He did not need a Ponzi scheme. Rajat Gupta was already worth over 100 million. He did not need insider tips. They looked around at billionaires and thought, I need more. Here is what we rarely admit. You never feel rich enough because you keep changing who you compare yourself to. When you made 50,000, you compared to people at 50. When you make 150,000, you compare to people at 500. The target keeps moving because you keep moving it. Research shows that your sense of wealth relative to others matters more for happiness than your absolute dollars. So you can be rich and miserable, or modest and content, depending on comparison. Ask a hard question. What is enough for you? Not for your parents, not for society, for you. Until you answer, you are playing an unwinnable game. If you are chasing how to be a millionaire, define what happens after you reach it, or you will never stop running. The overconfidence trap. Most of us think we are above average at many things. The same happens with investing. Professionals struggle to beat the market over long periods, yet we assume we can do better on the side. I am guilty too. In March 2020, the market crashed. I told myself I was calm and informed. I still panic sold. Knowing something in theory is not the same as living through it. We are not spreadsheets. If 20% cash helps you sleep and prevents one catastrophic mistake, that cushion is a smart choice. Results are decided on a handful of stressful days, not on the easy ones. The herd trap. If you were a hunter-gatherer and everyone suddenly ran south, you ran south. You did not stop to analyze, it kept you alive. In markets, that instinct can ruin you. A small group of informed investors can sway the rest. Manias on the way up, panics on the way down, meme stocks, crypto rushes. Selling at the bottom in 2008. That is herd behavior. The people who build real wealth have a plan, stick to it, and ignore the noise. Warren Buffett owned hundreds of stocks. A handful produced most of the gains. That is not magic. That is discipline. Does money make you happy? The answer is complicated. Older research said happiness rose until around $75,000 per year, then flattened. Newer work found happiness can keep rising with income, but for the most unhappy people, it levels off earlier. Here's the point. Money solves money problems. It buys security. It buys options. It buys control over your time. After that, psychology takes over. Spending to impress others does not work. They look at your car for 3 seconds, then forget it. You keep the payment for 5 years. Wealth is not what you spend. Wealth is what you do not spend. Wealth is options. It is the ability to say no to a bad job. It is the ability to take a risk you believe in. It is the ability to handle an emergency without panic. Here is the secret. Time. The real way to build wealth is not perfect timing. It is avoiding big mistakes for a very long time. Warren Buffett is a great investor, yes. But his superpower is that he has invested for about 75 years. If he had started later and stopped earlier, he would be good, not legendary. Compounding needs time in the market. Getting wealthy takes optimism, risk, and some luck. Staying wealthy takes frugality and healthy paranoia. Aim to be financially unbreakable so compounding can do its work. Your strategy cannot be only mathematically optimal. It must be psychologically sustainable for you. If crypto keeps you obsessing, skip it. If owning businesses you understand keeps you calm, do that. The best plan is the one you can follow for 30 years. Here is your action plan. First, define your enough. Write this down. What is the number where you stop moving the goalpost? Remember, happiness depends on outcomes versus expectations. 60-second exercise. Pause and do this. Write your peace monthly number: housing, food, transport, insurance, essentials, plus a small buffer. Add a comfort delta of 20 to 30%. Pick a North Star. Either annual peace times 25 as a simple rule of thumb, or a cash-like runway of 12 to 18 months of peace. Now write one sentence. Enough equals this much per year. Anything beyond this buys time, not toys. Second, build for your psychology, not a textbook. If you tend to panic, hold a larger cash cushion and automate contributions. If you take too much risk, set guardrails like position limits and scheduled rebalancing. Turn how to build wealth into simple behavior rules you will follow. Third, plan for the plan not working. Crashes, job changes, and surprises will happen. Pre-write your responses. For example, if the market drops 30%, I rebalance on the 15th. If income falls, I cut these categories first. Fourth, give yourself permission to be wrong. You only need to be right often enough and avoid ruin. Small, repeated good decisions beat rare hero moves. If your focus is to make money online, use these rules to choose what to pursue and when to stop chasing and start living. Remember Rajat Gupta? He never defined enough. The goalpost kept moving until he ran off a cliff. Do not be Rajat. The psychology of money is not about getting rich fast. It is about knowing yourself, so your choices buy freedom, time, and peace of mind. That is the real path to how to build wealth. The best return on investment is not only dollars. It is a life you actually want. Now write your enough and start playing a game you can finally win.